Join me today for a visit of the Grand Pavois, an international boat show in La Rochelle, France. This is the 52nd edition of the event, which takes place in late September or early October each year. With expectations of at least 80,000 visitors over the course of 6 days, each year a different country is featured in its guest pavilion. I had the honor of working with the South African guests last year, doing both translation and hosting. For today's trivia question, how many boats are there at this year's show in La Rochelle? And as a bonus question, how many brands are represented here from the 33 different countries? As a hint, both of those answers are under 1,000 in number. If you don't have any idea, stick around until the end of the video and I'll give you the answers.
We lucked out today. The weather is fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful afternoon. There's a lot to see. There's a little bit for everybody. There's all sorts of different stuff you can look at. And as we walk around here, you meet all sorts of people from different places around the world, hear all sorts of languages. And there's everything that you'd want for any type of budget. So obviously once you get in, you don't have to buy anything, but you can look around, have something to eat or drink. There are a lot of different types of food you can try. And then you can check out the different boats and other materials that go along with anything having to do with the ocean, even different types of marine research. There's all sorts of different things that you can do here, and you can easily spend the entire day. So it's really interesting to check this out. Obviously, I'm very happy to come and make this video this year, coming back to visit. I'm familiar with the place because I worked here before, but today it's just a one-day YouTube project and kind of getting myself out there to meet people and see why they're here and what they're looking for.
This year I thought it would be worthy of a YouTube video, and weather permitting, I managed to get there on a sunny day for a tour. Are you ready for a fun experience? The boat show takes place in the area of La Rochelle known as Les Minimes, a peninsula with a beach, cafes, and a number of maritime activities, including a large marina with hundreds of boats. As a key stop along the Atlantic coast between Spain and Northern Europe, the multiple harbors here get a lot of passenger and freight traffic throughout the year. As for getting to the event, many people come by car. There are multiple parking lots located around the town, particularly near the train station, with shuttle buses to the event. La Rochelle is served by the TGV from Paris, as well as rail service from Nantes and Bordeaux. City bus service is very good, and more people choose to cycle to the event every year. If you do come by car, make sure and plan extra time for traffic, as bottlenecks and traffic jams occur frequently, with only 2 bridges across the rail lines into the Minime area, limited traffic on some streets, and difficult access points as you get closer to the event. Once you arrive, entry costs 17 euros for a day pass, and children under 12 get in free. The entry system works with a QR code scanner, and your bags are subject to search when going in. The way the law works currently in France means you have to open your bags for inspection yourself. Generally, if you are polite and patient, it's a mild inconvenience. Maps of the site are provided, and you're free to stroll around at your leisure. The Grand Pavois is more than just a boat expo. You'll find all sorts of different stands and vendors with basically anything having to do with the nautical world. A one-day visit isn't really enough to get into the details of everything. There is a lot to see and explore, especially when the event is busy on a nice day. However, today we'll start with a walkthrough of some of the boats, including some nice Beneteau cruisers. As you stroll along the docks here, there are boats of all shapes and sizes. I'll give you a review here of a few of the models on display. Some of the larger boats require you to remove your shoes before you visit the interior, while most of the customer service counters of the different builders, such as Beneteau, which I feature here, are very welcoming and speak English, there can be exceptions. One of them, for example, refused to let me film and also refused to speak English with me. So if you do get an unfriendly welcome, keep in mind there are many others to choose from.
So on this avenue here, we have a lot of different places you can stop and get something to eat. It's kind of the outside corner when you first come in. And you can see there's quite a big event. So it goes over, many, many acres. And then you have the harbor. It's kind of down this way. So we'll walk down here and check that out. But this is an event that goes on every year, end of September, early October. This year was a little bit later than normal. And I'm always surprised how much of a niche event this continues to be, although it is definitely gaining importance as the years go by. But a lot of people in Charente have never even heard of this event, which is surprising because it's right in their neighborhood. It's literally right outside their front door. And this is in a harbor in La Rochelle, which is called Les Minimes, which is just south of the downtown. Quite a large harbor for sailboats. It's a ocean port where private sailboat owners can rent a place and park. It's quite coveted as far as a location on the Atlantic coast. So you do get a lot of different people from Spain and Portugal and Holland, England, obviously, Ireland, a lot of different Europeans coming through here because it's such a large port. And of course, this was, as you know, if you've watched some of my Templar videos, an important city for the Templars before the 14th century, as this was their main fleet. It was located in La Rochelle as well. So it's a city with a ton of history, one of the best preserved cities on the Atlantic coast in France. The only city that was not actually bombed during World War II. So at least it has been preserved to the point where we can appreciate the history of the city today. Here we're going to go down to some of the boats and check those out.
From there, I talked to some of the sailors who came to the event. One beautiful boat is the Saltillo, a Spanish ketch, which is a two-masted sailboat built in 1932. Used in the 1948 Olympics, it was owned by the father of Spanish statesman Juan Carlos I until 1962. Completely restored in 1988, it now belongs to the Escuela Técnica Superior de Náutica y Máquinas Navales of the University of Basque Country near Bilbao.
You're from Spain, then?
Yes, we are from Spain.
Okay, where in Spain are you from?
Bilbao.
Bilbao.
Basque Country. This is a school ship, school vessel.
Okay.
Where we make different trips.
Okay.
Like Brest, La Rochelle, Basque Coast, different trips. And this is for our formation as in the marine merchant officers.
Interesting. Okay.
So this helps us to have more experience and know about
navigation.
More about navigation.
What's your crew on this boat? How many?
15. It's one captain.
Yeah.
And all the crew are students.
Yeah, our project is just like promoting our formation, the ship, the Basque Country, and also the ports of the Basque Country.
Interesting. Okay, great. And for propulsion, you have sail and
we have an engine, a Volvo Penta 140
horsepower.
But it's not a lot. And then we have sails.
And how much time does it take you to get from Bilbao up to here?
Depends
on the weather.
Yeah, the weather. But more or less 35 hours.
Okay. Right.
And this vessel is famous because a lot of years ago, the king, the dad of Juan Carlos, used it for his navigation.
Okay, interesting.
Then in the 98, the University of the Basque Country remodeled it and prepared it for a school vessel.
And you're a public school? Or
yeah, it's public school.
Okay,
it's public.
Great, awesome, interesting.
Yes.
The crew of the Saltillo recommended talking to the crew of one of the neighboring boats. They explained how they had helped a captain a few days before in loading prosthetic medical devices that were destined for Africa. It intrigued me, so I stopped in to check it out.
So they said you had an interesting story because they helped you a few days ago with some materials you were transporting or something?
Yeah, but first of all, we have to explain more generally what we are doing. We are non-profitable organization in marine business because it started from a constatation that a lot of boats are not used or maybe abandoned or
Okay.
okay, and a lot of projects, charity project or human, social or environmental project need a boat. We can help them to bring medical equipment they collected in Africa. All the equipment are already in the boat, and the boat is living in Senegal and Gambia.
Gambia, yeah.
Now, let's check out the guest pavilion and meet some of the visitors from Basque Country. If you don't know of Basque Country, here's a little about its history as well. The term Basque Country refers to a collection of regions inhabited by the Basque people located on the Western Pyrenees between France and Spain. The area is characterized by its unique traditions and distinct culture, with a clear willingness to remain autonomous despite there being no independent Basque state. The Basques are a southwestern European ethnic group characterized by the Basque language, a common culture, and shared genetic ancestry. This has often been at the root of political differences both in Spain and France, with former French regimes having tried to attain complete absorption of minority cultures in places like here and in Brittany. As the centuries-long political differences continue to this day, we can nonetheless admire and enjoy what makes this region of Europe special by sampling some of the foods and listening to some of the traditional music at the Grand Pavois.
Le Pays Basque il est invité d'honneur au Grand Pavois cette année.
Oui.
Et c'est par ce biais-là que du coup on nous a invités à venir. Et là on est différents artisans et nous aujourd'hui on est en train de faire découvrir notre salaison, toutes nos fabrications. Et nous on est installés à Sap au Pays Basque, c'est à 15-20 minutes de Saint-Jean-de-Luz.
D'accord.
Dans les terres.
Ok,
Voilà. Et nous on fabrique tout avec des cochons qui sont élevés uniquement en plein air au Pays Basque.
Ok.
Voilà.
Très bien. Eh bien, bienvenue à La Rochelle.
Merci.
Nous sommes basés à Saucois, au Pays Basque, juste en face de Saint-Jean-de-Luz. Nous sommes ici, Saint-Jean-de-Luz ici, et un peu plus haut, vous avez Biarritz. Ou alors,
Ok.
on est à la frontière dans Biarritz.
D'accord, donc vous êtes une école de plongée, permis bateau et atelier.
Voilà.
Ok, d'accord.
On a des sites exceptionnels au Pays Basque, des roches magnifiques à visiter.
Ok.
Avec un site exceptionnel de plongée.
On connaît
Ok.
un petit peu la Rochelle et Rochelle, parce qu'on a une partie de la famille qui est
Sur la Charente-Maritime
Ok.
et l'autre partie de la famille qui est au Pays Basque.
D'accord.
Pour débutants et confirmés.
Ok, super. Eh ben, merci beaucoup.
avec plaisir.
Alors nous présentons toute une gamme de canards, voilà, de produits à base de canard. Des pâtés de foie, des foie gras traditionnels, foie gras entier, des balotés mi-cuits, saucisson magret canard. En boîte, nous avons les deux vents de canard, c'est-à-dire le manche au magret. Et un produit phare que nous avons aussi, c'est la choix de canard, qui peut se manger aussi bien froide que chaude. Chaude accompagnée de pâtes, riz ou pommes battues.
Ok, super. C'est celui-là.
C'est un produit...
Comment vous le prononcez?
Alors, il faut se dire qu'au Pays Basque, le X se dit che.
Ok.
C'est pour ça que
Hachois.
j'ai écrit Hachois, mais c'est Hachois.
À choix.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Christophe Laraudet. Je suis un producteur de piment d'Espelette de Cambo-les-Bains, dans le Pays Basque. Et je suis venu à la foire Grand Pavois de La Rochelle pour présenter mes produits. Alors, nous avons la corde de piment, c'est le piment qu'on récolte frais. Et après, de là, on fait de la poudre de piment d'Espelette, ou avec quelques produits dérivés qui sont la gelée de piment, la purée de piment et du sel et piment.
Along with the sailboats, watercraft, and other nautical specialties, the show features many more different curiosities and professionals with customized trades. Strolling through the stands will give you a better idea of what's available. It might be hard to gather from the video here, but the Grand Pavois gathered 700 different boats this year, of which 300 were in the water. So that's the answer to today's trivia question. As an additional factoid, we learned that the 33 countries here are marketing over 800 different brands throughout the week. Obviously, this first video about the show is just an overview. I had the chance to work here during the entire week last year and got to experience a lot more. Next year, we'll certainly have more to offer. What are your impressions of the boat show here? What would you like to see more of? If you were doing a video about the Grand Pavois, what would you focus on? Leave your ideas in the comment section down below. As I conclude this episode, I hope you've enjoyed this visit to this year's Grand Pavois. I would like to give a special thank you to the organization for helping me plan this visit. It's my second year working with them, and I look forward to future events as well. Check out some of my other videos about events in towns here in Charente. We YouTubers are always happy when you like and subscribe. It's almost as good as finding pirate treasure.